The next thing we want to do now to just create this simple project. We'll call them voting site. So this one will be normal H1, and we'll write voting site for the H1. This one will be the label we will set to 0. Then for the JavaScript, we'll do some few things. We'll put use input so that the person puts their name and they click yes. This one will change to another thing, applause voted yes, and this 0 will turn to 1. So we could increase every time we press yes, and every time we press no, it will come down. When you press reset, we'll go back to 0. So if you come out this name and you press yes, you just say voted yes, you don't go add any name. So we'll start with the HTML. Very simple HTML, 3 buttons, 1 input, 1 label, 1 H1. Then we'll add this box will be div, and you will see how we did on very soon. Make we start with our HTML. Of course, the first now to bring out this boilerplate. Then if you change this one to voting, we will add 2 scripts, which will be our CSS and our JavaScript. So for CSS, we'll use link. This one could be relationship. Relationship could be style sheet. Then also we'll get href, where it will be style.css. Okay, for inside body, we'll add script. Script could be src index.js. Then we'll close up. Now we don't already connect. Okay, this one's supposed to close for it. We don't already connect our CSS and our JavaScript to this HTML code. The next we want to do now to use H1, take right the topic of the site will be voting site. Yeah, so we'll use H1 and just put voting site. Of course, this H1 will give an ID, so we will column inside our JavaScript. So ID could be mostly on display, because could display who vote and who no vote, all those kind of things. And the next thing we'll also put now label on the 0, we'll set them to 0. We'll also give ID, more column counter or vote count. The next thing we will do now to put before the buttons, we'll get simple input. We'll call the input's name or name of voter or voter's name. Of course, we will close them. Then we'll get 3 buttons. Button ID, we'll call this first one vote up. Then we'll close them. On top of the button, we'll get yes. So if you want vote up, you will click yes. So 2 more buttons. This one will be no. And of course, one column votes down. And this one will be vote reset. Now we'll column reset. Like this, we'll see how it come outside for our HTML. We'll go live server. Now we don't write voting site with that display we will do, and of course we use H1 to write down. Now the label with this, we will write 0 inside, then we'll get the input and the 3 buttons. And what we're going to do now is say we want to break this line to make sure say this other ones, input and buttons, they under this 0. So we'll just use BR. And the next thing is we'll change this reset to capital letter. Okay, for here now, what we will do now, say we want to change this one to capital letter, then we won't break this line, this label. We will use this BR. We'll close them. This one will mean say the way they under will fall under. You will see what we are talking about now. Now the BR that we will do now, don't break these two lines. So this one there up and this one there down. And that BR. If you also break this one also after the input, maybe put BR, it means say the buttons yes, no, reset will go under this input. The next thing we want to do now to create some variables, and those variables will collect all these voters name, vote up, vote down, vote reset. We'll collect them so that we'll use them inside our index.js. But this time around, instead say we'll use let, because let now say we declare variable, and that variable will change within the inside later. We use const. This will mean say we no go change within the inside this particular variable. So we will name our variables now. The first one will be reset. We'll start with yes button, because we will work on them as function. So yes button equals document.get document ID. And we will call in the first thing, we will be vote up. Then of course if you can just copy this code 4 times, say no button. If we call this one will be vote no or vote down. I'll call this one reset button. This one will be what we call our reset button for here. Vote reset. Make sure say the names are the same thing so that you will feel they call the correct things. So we'll call this one voter's name. We're also calling vote counts and display. The thing we say we're not going to use vote count. We use vote count now, we're not going to use display and vote name. We use them inside our variable. So this one is voter's name, this one display, we get display. Okay, so for now we'll use these two. We'll use them later for inside our code. So we don't bring in these 4 things and we'll begin to use them now. Next thing we want to do we want to do small mathematics. We'll say count equals 0. And very little math we will do, so that when we change that 0, we'll change them to this number. Then later we'll click yes, go dey go up, or go dey add 1 every time. So to do that one, we will say yes button dot on click equals function. Then we'll talk wetin we wan make the function do. The first thing we say, we wan make this count. Anytime we click and unclick this yes button, we wan make this count dey go up by 1. So wetin we dey use, they call this one they use increment. So increment be say any number wey you get and you put this plus plus in front of am, e be like say you dey add 1 every time. So the function be say once we click this code now, e go go up by 1, or this count now go increase by 1. The next thing we want to do now to call this counter, this particular counter wey dey here, then we go save something inside or change within the inside. So how we take do this one? We will just say counter plus na const, we just say text content. Of course, we will talk wetin the text content will be. What will be this count? Of course, this will be the new count where we get now. The old count now 0. The new count now say now 0 plus 1. So we don't add 1 for here. Then inside this code, as you press am, the new count could be in the increase. So counter text content count. So we just like say we put value inside variable. So if you reach here now, I will press yes, it will begin the count go up. But we never put no and reset, so nothing will happen. If it no work, now because say we don't collect the right ID. For example, now I say vote count na in the year will be this 0, but for here we use voter count. So vote count. If we change this one to counter, then if we call the counter for here. For the no button, if we just copy this particular code, what we will do now to change this plus plus to minus minus. This one means say every time we will press am, we'll click no button. After we click the no button, no name and well. Alright. So anytime we click the no button, it will just mean say that particular number will be reduced by 1. So now any number we reduce by 1, we'll save them inside this count, then we'll represent them for the counter by the text content. So we'll see how this one will work. Now we don't get yes, they go up, and we don't also get no, they bring and come down. For the reset button, we'll also put same code. We'll change this one to reset button. Of course, it means say this reset button will work on the vote reset. So anytime we click the vote reset, first we'll go collect them from our HTML. We'll put down for this reset. Anything with the value be, right? We won't come work on now. So whenever you press them, there's something happen. This time around, when we press them, we will set the value of count to 0. And once we set them to 0, we'll carry the count for here. The same count we'll carry for here. Then we'll put them inside where the counter day. Normally the counter is supposed to be 0 when we set them. But we'll do text content and we'll change them to what they inside this count. So for this reset, we'll just put them back to 0. So now yes they go up, no they come down, and reset go carry am back go 0. What you want to do now to see how we dey collect the input, right? Then how we dey change this voting whenever anybody puts input inside. First thing we say, we want collect the name of voter, then we want save am, put am inside our variable wey be container, we want store am inside. So we say, because we don't know how we dey collect this one before, so document by ID, get document by ID. This time around, which particular ID we want collect? We want collect voters name. Yes, so we spell am. This one we want collect now. This input voters name. Okay, they correct. And if you want collect am finish, don't forget say na value, so put dot value. If you collect and finish, we want save am inside another container. So anything we collect from that value, any name we they put inside or anything we they type, we want say name of voter. So what we just do for it, say we go collect this voter's name will be value. We'll collect and come from inside our HTML through this ID. Then we can save them inside this particular variable. Now we will come use them now using text to content. So let's do document by ID. Then we'll pick the display because now there won't change within the display. This one is display there, so that anything we did before we won't change them to another thing. Maybe that voted yes we will talk about. So to change them, we'll do text to content. Text content. So what we want to put for there? We want to use our template literal. We want to put name of voter. So will be maybe Akbos voted yes. Okay, so very simple. Anything we do inside here, which is we pick this name and we change them to waiting day this display. Of course, we set our display for inside our HTML as voting site. So now we won't change that voting site. So anything we collect for here, which is this name, which is this value, we put this value, anything we type inside that text box, we save them inside this name. Now we use this name for here. Say anything we did for this display, make it now become this. Don't forget say if we do our value and our variable will take the left side. So anything we want put inside or anything we want declare. And for example, we carry this one, just like so we do them as we take the put value for variable. So we change this display. So we change them, we use our template literal. This one means say we'll add anything will be the name, what we input, or we'll type in. Then you add this voted yes. Now you go and check what we do just now. We will see say maybe we'll put a pause. You will count 1, then we'll change this one to a pause voted yes. This one's never been a work now. Someone go work on them. So now almost the same thing we'll do for this place as well. So if you just copy this code, we'll put down for here. Same thing, we'll collect name with this one, we'll save them for here, and this time around we'll say voted no. And still same this display we won't change. If you come back on the HTML and put your name, say yes, you write Akbos voted yes. To put no, you say Akbos voted no. We'll put for reset as well. For the reset button, we'll do the same thing. We'll say any name where they put for here, make it stand for here. Then we'll say make the name, make it also change within the display. This time around, we'll say whatever the name be, we'll say click reset. So same process. Alright. You will see now. Yes, we will go up. If you put the name for them, say yes. Upwards voted yes. No. Upwards click reset. Now, make we enter inside the CSS. Before we go inside the CSS, we just want to do one quick thing. We want to do that black box we see. So we'll use div. Just like say we divide the page of the web page, we divide them into different boxes with this div. So this is our div, so that we will change them to black, we'll give them ID. So making self get even ID. For inside CSS, we will also fit change things by the ID. So we'll say this div, we'll call them box. We'll just call them box or black box, anything we like. So what we'll do is everything we want to make it inside the black box, we just put them inside that div. So we'll put them for the middle of this div like this. So at the black box with this, we'll design them separate. We'll first design this H1, we'll design this box. We'll see how it will be. For the CSS, we will start with the body. So we'll say font family and font size. Font family, first click on anyone you like. Font size, we'll just say medium. Then we'll go to the H1. For H1, we'll say, don't forget to say H1 and be the display. To come back and check out H1 and the display. So if you just do H1, or more even do the display. If you want to say you want to call them by the particular ID, we just say we put this asterisk, this hash rather. So we call them by the ID. But this H1 now will represent every H1 by default. So say color of H1, we'll just leave them for white, as we did for our example or page. Also, we'll talk about the font size. Figure button for extra large because it's not big. If you also position them by number, maybe the way we'll take the one with that 0.1 em. So alright, so we'll also do text align, make it go middle, put down for center. We'll do margin, maybe margin bottom. This one we'll just put space on the but we'll just put down for 10 pixels. we'll put font family, then going down for there for now. Font family. We'll just use another, we'll use the same font. Now this one for the H1, then we'll do for the box. Now that box now we will column by this in ID. So box will be what we won't get for the box now, the background, most importantly, that black background. So we'll go check out now. Here's some few things we can notice for here. These voting sites they on top. Now because say we no put them inside that div. So we could put them inside the div now so that this color will show well and no good like this. Of course if you leave it on like this, but we could put them inside the div. And that's what we could do to say if you check here, the number not they show, but the number is somewhere here. So we could add font color to this box. We could also bring this one come down small. Then we could put down for middle. We'll start from color. So will be the font color of that particular anything within inside the box, like that label, that's 0. So we'll move down for that color and we'll do font size. So the thing we want to write for inside this box could get font size of we'll say 5 EM if you pick red. So that's 0 now the counter, so you could put big red. So don't put background color, we could put margin bottom, this space really maybe 10 pixels. Then we will see how it will be like this. Okay, two things we will never do. We need to put this one inside here. Then we need to add text align, make all this one self come middle. Now we'll increase this 0 so 8 EM. This one just means saying that 8 times the default size. The next thing we'll do is put down for center with text align center. Then we will go our HTML. We won't put this H1. We'll cut and come out. Don't forget to say everything inside that box, a black box. So we won't add that H1 for the black box too. Now we will put space between these voting sites and this 0. Also the voting site, like I say, it will go up, so we won't bring them come down as well. Then we'll put the same color for all these buttons, and after we'll put them for different colors. Alright, this margin bottom with the for the H1 now be the space with the between that voting site and 0. So if we increase this one by maybe 50, make it fit cover space very well. Also we'll use padding, maybe padding top. We'll just put down for 20 pixels. This one are the space we could do between the top of the box and voting. So if you see now space on the up here, if you put more space for your own side, if you add color, make the color they different. If you change your own color, then what we'll do now to design this input and also all these buttons. Make we start with the buttons. To put all these buttons for the same color or the same settings, if you use a call class, make sure say space stay between button and class. Then if you name your class or the class of the button, we'll just say PTN. Now of course all these buttons now we'll see that they the same class. So we'll just design only one. So that one design could show for all of them. So if you come here, if you just call PTN, or if you even call them by their ID one by one, which we'll go do later, or we'll change the classes. So BTN class, we'll say background color. We'll just set down for this color first. Then if you say color, could be this one. So most likely. So we change the color of the buttons, all of them together. I will also change the writing with the inside. Yet we will need different colors for our buttons. So to get different colors for these buttons, we just save these ones as different names. Then we'll put the CSS. So we'll just copy paste these ones. So this one will be BTN1, this one will be BTN2. So if we just change first color here, so move down for green. Second one, no. Put down for red. The last one are yellow. Alright, so another thing we want to add, if we just leave this one for white, just all the writing will be white. Alright, so thing we want to do again, now to work on the input. The input name now, our footer's name. So I'm gonna copy that one. So we'll call them with hash, and we will say width. I want to make it wide reach. We'll put down for 100 pixels. If it's too big, we're going to reduce them. We'll pan them. Adding 10 pixels. We'll put margin 5 pixels and 0. 5 pixels. We'll do them for 5%. We'll put border radius. I'm going to put border. Now just 1 pixel, 1 pixel, solid, let's give another color, border radius. This one on the side of the text box. The way we want to make it coverage. So I'm up down 10 pixels just for design. Then we'll do text align. Text align means say flip down for center, then flip down for left anywhere. Move down for center. So now be this. That border radius now make this corner curve like this. If you add more number to them, it go round them more. So we don't change the colors of all these different ones. If you put our name now, if you see the border, we'll put for the input box. Okay, so everything will work. Then we'll see if we add some designs to these buttons. The margin will be between the text box and those buttons they too far away. So we'll change this one to 5 pixels instead of the 5% we did. So of course it could be closer. Now for the buttons, we will need some of this thing we don't use. So for example, padding. So we'll put space between the writing, that yes, make it be like button. So do padding. So padding could be maybe 10 pixels for one side, up and down, that we could do, and maybe 20 for another side. What was the effect of this padding? So now the padding be this, and you will see say space one day for the up and down. So if you make your one day bigger for the side or for the top, any design way you like. So we will add padding to the rest. Then we will also do border radius. We'll say this border is not go sharp like this. Alright, we could do border radius. I'm not even put border first. If you say 2 pixel border, then solid white, or this color, white now FFF. So we'll just use this one. So we will also mostly like this one be. We don't do padding border, we'll do border radius. We will make them day round for the side. We'll just put down 20%. So if you see the roundness very well. Okay, we will reduce, or we will make this button day longer. Then of course it will look better. Then we will reduce this border radius. It will curve. So if you put on like 5% or 10%. Okay, we'll first make the button day longer. We'll put on for 40% or 45%. Then to see this border, I'm going to put on to black, so I will see the border radius. Then the border radius will also say too sharp, so we'll put on for like 5%. So anything really we will change on later. And that's what if you put now font size, font family, depending on the kind of writing where you want to put. If you want to change the kind of writing where you want to put on that thing, you just add on like that. So now we'll see the effect of this one. This one they look a lot better now. Of course, we know so if we change this white, we'll take right down to another color. We don't say this curve still there. Like if you make this one even day longer, different is what we do. So we'll just apply the same thing to the rest of the buttons. So we'll add everything like this. Okay, everything will be like the first one. Alright, so if you change anything we want to change for your one, and you can increase this one. The padding for this one, we can give them 20 pixels. Okay, make we add length to that input box. We just put on for 70 pixels. Then I change this border because I black it before. Move it to white. Hopefully they see the border as it come outside. Where we can change this one to white because it will beautify them even more. Okay. Which other thing we want to do? Alright, we don't finish for it. So now the finish work with this. So basically, if you put your name for here. If we change many things, if you even increase the size of this name, everything else will change, make it fit take practice, just to try different things. So our pulse voltage, yes, you go up, no, you come down, set, you go to 0.